This is a millionaire mind hack. And I'm going to be very honest and very straight up with you right now that this is going to come with a disclaimer. If you're an obsessive personality like myself, you're probably going to go insane. And you're going to have to pull yourself back from that. But if you're someone that can ignore things, then I suppose you are where you are, right? And now that I've gotten my disclaimer out of the way, I want you to know that this shit is not going to be easy. Okay, here we go. The millionaire mind hack works like this. And if you can stick to this and integrate this into your life, you're going to be good to go, baby. Alright. At any given time, if you've ever used a Windows computer and used a task manager and or used a Linux machine or Unix machine, any kind of operating system, you know that even if you're just browsing the internet, there are several hundreds of processes that are running in the background, right? Hidden little 50 to 100 processes running in the background, just like that. See, the computer is modeled behind the human brain and the computing power that we have. And so what you need to understand is we are running on an average basis. When the guy is walking around or the lady's walking around, you're doing that one thing that you're doing, but you're also running several processes in the background. Now, this millionaire mind hack is a process of the same sort. It is something that you can turn on, and if you can turn it off, that really comes down to you. So I had to go way off the deep end and then bring myself back in order for me to actually make this information beneficial. And we are now going to get into the millionaire mind hack. So what is an asset? An asset is something that, well, it works for you, right? So my work hours here is, if you can see, they're going to be from 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. However, I have a lunch block in there too, right? I'm in an asset zone here. Now, if I was making more money outside of this, then it would be a liability, but I earn pretty well. So in this duration here, and I'm also with a lot of cool people, that's big. Whenever you work for something, don't just work for the money, work for mere exposure and the people that you're around, okay? All right, so, and what you can pick up. So this here, for me, is an asset zone for sure, because I max out my lunchtime with gymming and stuff, right? Now, when I get out, I know that I have a happy zone in which I could turn those hours, those 8 hours, into neutral, where I'm just saving money, and or a liability in which I'm going at a bar or whatever, right? Where I'm spending money. So I want to make sure that I turn all these hours here into asset hours also. Not neutral hours, not liability hours. It took me years to get to this point, you understand? And how? When everyone was partying and hooking up and this and that. Look, I don't have a fucking social life, any of that, right? I mean, I can, but my parents are getting old, and there are more important things sometimes than yourself. So my mentality is based on a whole different mindset. So what I'm saying is, in the time that you have left over, you have to turn those into asset hours, not neutral hours and or liability hours. Neutral hours are still good because you can still save. But it took me years, man, for me to go from liability hours, after hours, and even these times here, and even weekends, right? Because weekends can turn into liability time because you want to spend time with friends and this and that. So you have to look at even friends. You have to look at work. You have to look at every situation as an asset and or a neutral and or a liability. So I don't mean to be too long-winded, but every hour of your day needs to be categorized and tracked just like that. The hour should fall into one of the three categories. It's either an asset, either it's a neutral, or either it's a liability. You're either earning money or saving money, or you're spending money every hour. Okay? Now, what you want to do is you want to put yourself in a place in which you are earning here and here. That's called passive income. Okay? There are many ways to do passive income in the days of today, or in the modern world, and we can get into that, and that's a whole different topic. But until then, right, the millionaire mind hack here is this: break out your day, right? And then in every hour, you have to look at every hour as was it an asset, was it neutral, or was it a liability? That hour that you spent in your day. when you start to look at things this way, the process will turn on. And when the process turns on, it's up to you how you can turn it on and off. Um, because you'll start to notice. With experience, you'll start to notice that this individual is an asset to me. I'm learning things from this person. Or you could say this person is not really a good or a bad, it's just meh in my life. Then you understand that. And or if a person's a liability, right? It's the same thing. You can use the process for how you break down hours, how you break down activities, how you break down people based upon this formula. This Millionaire Mind Hack by Johnny Qureshi. Break down your hours of the day. Every hour is either an asset, neutral, or liability. Weekends. Do you get off of this on the weekends and start to break your discipline and start to go into the heavy liability zone like everybody else? No. No. Self-discipline and being a multi-millionaire, being the best, I'm going for fucking best, okay? So if you're going to be the best, there's no stop date. And I love doing this shit, to be honest with you. It took a very long time to enjoy it, actually. And the thing is, trust me, I'm just like you. I wish I had a happy life and a pretty wife and all that, but if it didn't come to me, it didn't fucking come to me. I'm gonna double down. So I get no weekends, no social life. As far as friends go, hey man, if you're an asset to me, we're friends. We talk all the time. If you're neutral, I don't fuck with you. If you're a liability, I definitely don't mess with you, right? So when it comes to friends, ensure that you have friends that are going to be assets to you, right? So yeah, good luck with that shit. Rest. Yeah, right? Because rest can become a liability if it goes into this danger zone here. You don't want to be pressing 3-4 hours of sleep like I have been for the past couple of years. I'm trying to show you my gray hairs on my chin. Okay, and I'm going to make it short now. And then food. Food also has to be rationed, right? You have to look at everything here that was friends, weekends, rest, and food. And you have to learn to balance. See, that's where that balance comes in. You have to know, you don't want to like turn friends away because they're not assets to you, right? It's different friends. There's a relationship there. So the thing is, you're gonna have to go out and get the experience. I cannot teach you experience. I'll give you more millionaire mind hacks that my mind is always operating on, right? But what I'm saying is, if you learn to break down every hour as asset, neutral, or liability, you will start to come across your own formula. Damn, I feel like I'm missing something, but yeah, that's it. If you have any further questions or comments or anything else like that, please let me know. And look, I don't give a shit about you liking and sharing and or whatever. I get a lot of stalkers as it is. But what I would like, if you could please do this, go out there and shake a Muslim's hand. Okay?